Good morning, everybody. How is everybody doing today? It is coffee and chat time. Yay! Yummy coffee. So I know that we have some viewers all around parts of the world, so some might be joining in a little bit later than others. I did just want to pop in. Obviously, today is our Saturday live show, so as usual, on time, 9. And yeah, I did just want to keep talking about some of the current cases that I'm following. We do have the Turp up at the end of the month on the 30th. They're due back in court. I am seriously hoping that they are not going to just plead guilty like Chris Watts did and avoid a trial. I think that the Turpins might just decide that they think that their ways were right, and they might try to fight it. But like their lawyers might try to talk them into not doing something like that and just pleading guilty for maybe a lesser sentence. I don't know, right? So, and then obviously I'm really, really close with the Jayme Closs case. I was on again this morning just seeing if there was any updates for her. She's been missing for 27 days now, and that's in Barron, Wisconsin. So hopefully there's some leads that are being relooked at that might give us something for her. I worry that that girl will never get found, or I don't know why I put this up there anymore. It's just kind of like in the way. So, all right. What do we have for cases? Now, if there is any cases that anybody ever wants me to look into or try to follow, hey, good morning, Stephanie. How are you, girl? I was just saying if there's any cases that anyone is ever interested in me looking into or following, to just shoot me a message or give me a heads up that that's something that interests you, and I'll look into it. Good morning, everybody. So coffee time and, well, messy hair, whatever, who cares? Stephanie, where are you messaging from this morning? Oh my gosh, that Chris Watts. Like, okay, so it's like great that he's gone and, pleaded guilty to the crime. Exactly. Are we ever going to get to understand the reasoning or the mentality of what happened? Why? Hey, Tammy, how are you, girl? You made it. Beautiful mama. You're so sweet. Thank you so much. I decided to kind of spruce myself a little bit today, a little bit of lipstick, whatever. Something new, right? Good morning, Mary Beth. Hey, Monica. I'm so glad that the Chris did plead guilty, but at the same time, I mean, it's like Stephanie's asking, like, are we ever going to know the full truth about what exactly happened that night? I mean, because we obviously know that his story is complete BS, right? I mean, his corner story of she did it and she came home and freaked out and all of that was a complete lie. So and if any of you guys like what I'm saying, feel free to shoot a thumbs up in to just say, yep, I got that. Hey, Christine, how are you, girl? Oh, I'm so glad you guys made it. I know. I wonder, Tammy, I wonder if we're ever going to understand the reasoning to that. I'm kind of going to premonition this. I think that he might actually accept a payment to say his story. I think that once he gets sentenced and he's sort of sitting in there, and, it might take a while, but I feel like somebody might offer him something substantial enough that, they want to know exactly what happened, because who isn't going to want to ask this question, right? You don't believe any of that, Tammy? No? That's okay, hon. We're allowed to agree to disagree and all that along on here. Stephanie, I was just saying that. And now If the Turpins, I think the Turpins should plead not guilty because I want to go through the trial process in a sense. I kind of want to see what's all in those journals, you know? It'll be one-sided. That's okay, Tammy. Oh, from California, Mary Beth. That's awesome. But I feel like if the Turpins turn around and plead guilty too, we're not going to know anything about that story either. We're never going to really know, their methods to the madness and all that crap, right? So I honestly, I think that they might plead not guilty the way that the Turpins have been going with everything. And I don't know, like I really kind of feel like they might just carry on with that argument. Is there any other cases that anyone else is following that's of interest? Because we've just got the Turpin one, and then we've got Kyle Annis. His court hearing is on December 19th, and he was the one that was found in the home of Jayme Closs and her parents. Like he was taking clothes of hers, and so he's obviously charged with robbery. So he's got to go into court on December 19th in front of a judge for that. Yeah, and I think I told you guys, I don't know if you remember or not, but there's a potential that Kyle Annis could actually get 12 years plus a fine of $25,000, up to $25,000. So, yes, Monica, I am strictly following Jayme Closs. I literally every morning kind of get up and it's the first thing I look into to see if there was, yeah, the Humboldt Broncos case was, I should follow that one. It was a lot closer to home. It was here in Canada, and there was a lot of interest in it, but it was just so heartbreaking that so many people died like instantly. I mean that just destroyed so many people's lives. But they should hold that guy responsible in all senses of the word. Hey, Holly, you made it, girl. Whoop, whoop. You live 45 minutes away from the Kloss home. Recently I was looking on that Google Maps or Google Earth, sorry, and it shows, so much. I think I took some pictures for you guys because I wanted to be able to show you guys how much wooded area and the stuff that they live around. Like it's honestly, I don't know if even 2,000 search rescue people would be able to cover this amount of area. So this obviously the red dot is where they live. I don't know if you can see that with the reflection very well. But look at how much forest is around that home. I mean, it's fields and fields and forest all over. Yeah, there was one more. Sorry. So I mean, like the Highway 8's right there, right? And somebody did bring up a good point to me by saying um, the fact that Kyle supposedly left his bike at the laundromat and walked to Jamie's house at like 2 in the morning when he was caught robbing their place. And that's like a 45 plus minute walk. Like, really? Did he? But whatever, who knows? People do the strangest things sometimes. But I thought that was a little bit odd. But I mean, can you believe how much area there is to search there? And then somebody else had actually mentioned the fact that there could be bunkers in this area. Now, I would hope the authorities would know where those bunkers are because that's a really good hiding spot, let's admit. I mean, right? You can't hear or see anybody. You don't know what the heck's going on. You're underground. How could you? So, like, have they looked into bunkers in that area? Have they looked into the possibility that she's still right there, maybe? But, like, and I know that they've had dogs out there and stuff too. Now I wonder, can a dog smell her even if she was underground? You would think, yeah, you would think so. And I think that they would have already given the dog her scent with her clothing in order before they even searched and started. It's a lot of countryside, Monica. I was kind of like shocked, like, Angelique is one of the ladies that mentioned it, that she literally lives in the middle of nowhere. And it's like, oh my goodness, she does. It is a lot, Holly. It's like looking for a needle in a haystack. You got that right, It's a lot of area to cover. And not only do they have all of that to cover, there's farmers' fields and cornfields and, you know, huge fields that are like right there. And it's like she could literally be laying anywhere in there, But like I said, they've had the dogs out. So you would think they would have already found something, but it's a lot of area to cover. Like, holy cow. So every morning I get up and it's the first thing I look into to see if there's anything new about Jayme Closs. I just feel like really bad because she doesn't have any parents anymore. And I just feel like it's almost like my duty to keep her name out there now or something, like a parent would, right? Search like a parent would kind of thing, as much as I can from so far away. I don't know. I feel like every little bit would probably help. And a lot of people are saying that the media it isn't just on top of it as much as they should be. They should be really spreading that almost every single night, in my opinion. The sheriff did a great talk. Yeah, I did see Sheriff Chris Fitzgerald's interview, and I love that they touch base with the FBI like literally every afternoon, no matter where they are, no matter where the agents are, they're calling in and touching base to do a conference call regarding Jayme Closs. I mean, I just feel like in this day and age, for something like that to happen and her to just go missing, and this happened in 4 minutes, you guys. Like the 911 call came in, from the house, and 4 minutes later, it took officers to get there, and two people are dead, and she's been missing ever since. Like, it's just baffling. It's flabbergasting. I'm just like, what the heck? Like, what do you? And then the fact that there's like 23 sex offenders that live in that area and the population is only 3,400. I'm like, are you serious? Why is there so many sex offenders in such a small area? And now they're going back over old tips and old, information to see if they kind of missed anything, because they haven't found anything yet, which is really unbelievable. Like, how do you hide an entire person for this long? Like, she had to be, yes, free me life. That's true. The sex offenders were all, well, they weren't all cleared. I didn't hear that. What I heard is that they're all cooperating. I haven't heard that they're all cleared. Not yet. Just so you know. I'm like, maybe you heard something somewhere that I didn't hear. Please tell me if you did. But I thought that they were still kind of looking into that, but that the sex offenders were at least cooperating, which is good news. But I mean, that's a lot of sex offenders in one area. Like, come on. Like, I don't understand why the judicial system would let them out and place them all sort of in such close proximity or something like that. Like, I don't know. Maybe there was, a discussion of that should be where they should all go or something, or maybe keep them together or something. But yeah, yeah. And I guess once you do your time, I guess you're supposed to kind of be able to just carry on your life. However, there's certain charges that I find stick with you for life, and there's no getting out from under those sometimes, right? But I'm hoping that this girl is still alive. I'm hoping that they find her somewhere. I'm hoping that they do search any bunkers that are in this area, you know. I'm trying to figure out where to put my coffee cup for crying out loud. But in all honesty, like I feel with her having no parents alive, it's a dead end in a sense. Like her extended family isn't paying that close of attention from what I can see. So I feel like it's our job to kind of keep this alive in a sense. But as far as the Turpin case goes, I'm a little bit worried that they're going to turn around and just say, no, we plead guilty as well and just accept sentencing. And we may never have closure to some of these cases. And that kind of bothers me, I have to admit. Like, it would be nice to know some of these, reasons and answers in order to have that closure. But I think I am going to reach out to Shanann's family and send a card. Like I've heard of some of my other viewers have done that actually. And I was quite impressed that, somebody thought to go that far. I mean, I was just trying to give them their space altogether. After kind of looking into the family, I decided, all right, well, and the video that I had posted that had their photos, there was a lot of people that kind of jumped down at me for that, and I wasn't trying to create problems for the family. I was just trying to show the world, like, look, this is their family and this is who I found and this is who's related to him. And, it looks like he had a pretty normal upbringing and everything looks pretty A-okay, but, you know, doesn't explain why he did what he did. Yeah, Christine, apparently they've done a lot of just door to door checking and stuff, and they've had cooperation. So, you know, I mean, nobody's going to answer the door and be like, yeah, by the way, there is a girl in the basement. Like, who's going to, you know what I mean? So they might be seemingly cooperating, but I would have personally wanted to have the dog there to smell if she was around there. Because if the dog's going to alert to her scent anywhere, like then there's suspicion for you to have probable cause to get a warrant in order to get in there and search the place and possibly find her alive and save her. So like it's a chain effect, right? And it's got to start with the first step. But I feel like if the first step of just knocking on the door and seeing like, hey, have you guys seen or noticed anything odd? And they're like, nope, not at all. Meanwhile, it could be them and you don't have the dog there and it's just you and that person. You have no idea how honest they're being. Like I don't know if I'd be able to trust that. I kind of would be looking at everybody like a suspect until I could clear people, right? By finding out that they were somewhere else, they had an alibi, they weren't involved, they weren't, you know, and then I would feel comfortable to clear them. But I'm not a police officer either. So these are just my methods in my mind that I would have preferred to have done things that all probably cost manpower and money that I'm sure, budgets and stuff like that don't allow for. I'm positive of it. But I feel like those extra efforts may have saved her already, And that is just my suggestion and whatever, but I don't know what all they're going to do down there going door to door. I would I think they should take the dog, you know. Cuz Kyle Annis stealing Jayme's clothes, like you're not even the same size as Jayme, even though you're a cross dresser, even though you like to dress as a woman, whatever, you're not the same size as Jayme. So what were you even going to do with those items of clothing? It makes no sense why he would show up to take those. This may sound silly, but bounty hunter could find her. Hey, that doesn't sound too silly. That's not a bad idea. And isn't that kind of along the lines of a private investigator or something, right? But then those people need to be paid for their services, and who's going to do that for Jayme, It's just such a sad situation. But I know that Chris Fitzgerald, the sheriff, is really like he's every day on top of this too, from what I understand. And I hope that it really does bother him as much as he says it does. So, is there any other cases that anybody else is interested in that they've heard or seen, whether it's old or new or cold, cold cases that are just not solved? Those ones aren't my favorite because I like to see the ending, you know? And if it's just kind of left open, it's like, oh, you know, I think I say too much. And I've been trying to curb that in my videos to make sure I don't sound so repetitive and stuff. I'm sure some people are just like, but I have a lot of new viewers that maybe haven't seen a live yet, and basically it's just an interaction back and forth where we can talk, you can type, I can answer, you can ask questions, we can bounce ideas off back and forth, pretty much talk about whatever. Bring up a subject and we'll talk about it if you'd like. So I think it's really interesting that Shanann was able to have 3 babies after the lupus diagnosis as well. The Oaks shooting, I didn't hear about that. I did recently hear. Was that the military man that went a little bit in the bar, and I think he shot 12 people or something like that. I'm not sure if he killed 12 people. That is the same one? Okay, yeah, I did hear about that one, and it is kind of crazy. It makes me wonder, like, how can we avoid a PTSD situation from happening again with especially with people who are allowed to have guns? I mean, I don't know. I know that it's the constitutional right in the United States to own weapons and stuff like that. I feel like maybe if there were different laws, or it was amended in a sense that, if you came out of military and you did, excuse me, you did have like a post traumatic stress disorder situation happen, that you need to maybe not own a firearm at that point because it could be dangerous to you. But then those people might be fighting and saying, well, their constitutional rights being taken away. But I mean, like, at what point do you decide that maybe somebody isn't solidly sane enough to own something like that to avoid these situations? I'm just thinking of it differently because being from Canada, we have guns on our roads and streets, and we still have shootings that happen here too, but it's nowhere near as much as down there because it's not as easily available, right? I just lost a viewer, somebody probably from the United States. I'm sorry. It's just a different mentality, right? I mean, you guys have different um, rights and laws and different ways, and it doesn't make them right or wrong. It's just different. You know what I mean? So I'm just talking about the difference in that from here to there. And sort of what I notice or what I see, like I do still see that there's tragedy that happens here, but it is far less. And I fear that maybe that is because of the scarcity of guns being available and it being so hard to get one here. You have to go through a course and training, and you have to get like 7 people to vouch for your sanity. And those need to be like lawyers and doctors and high up officials, authorities, and stuff. So it's not easy to go and get a firearm here. But then you don't hear about all these mass shootings here. I don't think there's ever been a school shooting. Like, I don't think there's ever been one in Canada. So there's something to be said for that, is what I'm trying to kind of say, I guess. But I understand that where you guys come from in having had that your whole history, like that's what it is. So I'm not saying it's wrong, it's just different. The 10-year-old that killed the baby, that more should be done there. You know what case I was recently looking into that happened? A woman had stabbed another woman and actually killed her, and she was schizophrenic. And this happened like in the middle of a Shoppers Drug Mart. Like, And the woman wasn't even talking to the woman. Like, she came out of nowhere and stabbed her and killed her. And she actually got off of these charges due to the mental issue or whatever. It's hard to set laws because everyone has rough days. That's true, Ray. That's very true. Some state has laws where a family member can court petition their gun rights taken away. Oh, really? I didn't know that. Interesting. There are an alarming number of 13-year-old girls that have been abducted recently from Canada. That is so true. Yes. That's what I'm talking about. The sex industry, sex trafficking industry, sorry, is just exploding, and it's exploding everywhere. Nobody's immune to it. Like, it's everywhere. Us included. It's scary. You know what's even more scary, Sin P, is that some people are being so snive about it, so sneaky, that they're getting into relationships and being in these relationships for like years before they all of a sudden turn psycho and try to freaking start controlling them and beating them and pimping them and whatever, selling them, you know, like just brutal, heinous sort of, you know, like it's gotten so twisted. Oh, totally, Holly. Totally understand where you're coming from, girl. Different governments, Ray. That's true. And I think the history matters, you know? Like the way that we were founded is very different from each other. So, like, I understand why there's differences and stuff. And it's too late. It's, I feel like, to kind of redo that, you know, to redo your constitutional laws is just, it's just not going to happen. Like, there were 5 schools threatened regarding shootings in Kitchener, but they were only threatened regarding shootings. I don't think a shooting ever actually happened, right? From what I understand. And I'm not the be all and end all. I don't know everything, but you know, if somebody's heard something else that I didn't hear, like, please tell us. But I have not heard of Canada having any school shootings. Yes, people kill. Okay, yeah, Teresa, you are so right. Like 1,000%. That's true. But it's those guns that are, you know, getting into the hands of those people that are doing that. And it's like, how is it even possible to try to avoid that now? Like, you know, where you can almost go buy a gun on any corner store in the United States, almost anywhere. There's no way that that's going to turn back or change, you know, but there's no way to evaluate who's getting the guns either, Teresa. So like, there's no way to control this. It's just rolling out of control more and more and more. That's true too, Ray. Children are watching the adults behaving. And, you know, not some adults are not behaving very well, let's face it, right? I had a long night of crying, you guys. I'm all puffy and whatever. But just in case anybody's wondering why I'm so puffy. Friends are available if someone really wants one. Yes, it's people that are pulling the trigger. You know, so how are we going to avoid getting, you know, figuring out which people are going to do that and which aren't, you know? So then just everybody is armed and you never know when chaos is about to happen. And that's pretty deadly chaos. Like, it's irreversible most times. The wrong people. I don't know if they do background checks, Holly, and I know that I have some people watching from the US right now, but I don't know about background checks for that. No, I understand where you're coming from, Ray. And I don't mean to sound like, you know, you guys should do it our way. Like, that's not what I'm saying at all. I'm just saying that we do things differently. And I've noticed that there's less shootings and there's less tragedy here than there is down in the United States. But there's a lot more people over there too. So, like, oh, the background check. So there is a background check then. So, okay, my next question then is what once they do the background check, if there's anything on there, is that person still allowed to get a gun? And it just depends what they have on their background, or do they have to have a clean background in order to get the gun? And then if they do, my other question is like, can they just get somebody else's to use their name, or are they verifying this through the IDs and matching everything up and making sure everything is, 100% who they say they are and all of that? Those would be my two questions on that. It's nice to just bounce things back and forth. And I strictly, honestly don't want to offend anybody. I have no issues with the way that you guys do things. It's just sad seeing some of the outcomes and the consequences of that, right? Some guns are sold at gun stores. No, if there's a criminal charge of domestic. So what do you mean? So if there is a criminal charge of domestic, they're not allowed to have a gun? And that's the only thing that stops them from getting one? Is that what you're saying? Yeah, someone will get someone else to purchase the gun, right? So there is no way of avoiding it, basically. But it is what it is. Yeah, mental issues. And how do you evaluate somebody like that, right? It is what it is. Different parts of the world are different. And like there's parts that are even more worse, right, for gun control stuff like that in the world. So, like, yeah. Sorry, guys. Kind of had a lull moment there. I'm thinking about what we should talk about next, just thinking about some of the other cases that I followed. I would love to know if Devonte Hart has been found yet either. That's somebody who was driven off the cliff in the van with the wife couple. So that was Sarah and Jennifer, I think her name was Hart. A gun is to be kept locked. See, like there was guns in my house growing up, but that's because my dad was a hunter, and that's exactly how the laws are here. Like you have to keep it locked, and you have to keep the ammunition away from the gun, and it can't be near children. So my dad had rifles and shotgun and what else did he have? A bow, like at archery. He did bow and arrow too. So I was kind of used to some guns, but not all of them. Like handguns were not something that we ever had. And my dad only ever used it for hunting when I was a kid and stuff. And it always stayed upstairs, locked away. You could see the gun cabinet, but and you could see in it if he opened it, kind of thing. I think it would had a glass, like a glass front thing too, but it was it's pretty strict. You have to keep those things separate and away from children. Same thing here. No, what's the Florida girl story? So many people going missing, you guys. It's so hard to keep up with the missing persons cases, because there's just so many. Do tell more, please. You're like, Holly, do yell more, please. That's a good one, Ray. I don't know. Tell, you caught it. That's so cute. No, Holly, please yell it. Maybe we'll all hear you. I'm just kidding. Yeah. Excuse me. Yes, drinking coffee. Yeah. I went down to our liquor mart here yesterday because I wanted to grab some. I like to have a creamer, kind of like Bailey's, right? So I go down there and they've had it there like all the time, and now I go there and they don't have it anymore. They discontinued carrying it at the store there, and I'm like, are you serious? I mean, they're opening up a second store, so it'll be at the other one, but you go walking all the way down there thinking you're going to be picking up your creamer. And I'm looking at the shelf like, where is it? Like, where is the creamer that I use? And I can't find it anywhere. So I go grab my wine and then I go up to the counter and I'm like, where is the creamer? This naughty cow. That's what it's called, naughty cow. And they're like, yeah, we don't carry it anymore. I'm like, when did that happen? Because I was literally just here like a couple weeks ago picking a bottle up. And yeah, so they're discontinuing it at the one store due to it not being like a high selling item. So I jokingly say, I'm like, so I'm the only one who likes it. But they're going to keep it at the other store. But unfortunately, there is a black market. Black market. There's a black market for everything, sadly. But oh, you're talking about for guns, Christine. Yes, yes, there is, and that's what I mean. Like we do have them here too. They are acquired here too. They're just they're just not used as much, I guess, or I noticed in I think it's Edmonton or Alberta someone started defacing some of the property around there with hate symbols, like Nazi symbols and stuff like that. So they're having some trouble with that down there. Many children are sold even on the black market. That's so true. Have you guys seen that movie Taken? I can't remember that actor's name right now. He's a good one though. He's a good actor. I like him. But that was an intense movie. Young women and men. Yeah, men as well. That's true. It's not just women. Yeah, do they suspect anyone, Holly? I'm sure that she's spending some time writing it out there, Ray, for us so that we can see or all read kind of thing. Yeah, Steve, actually we were talking about Jayme Closs right now, and other missing people, but right now this search is still on for her, so I'm still keeping her name on the front lines, just to keep her face out there. The media is still covering, some of it, but it's not all over all medias anymore, kind of thing. And I really wish they would, but I honestly, it's probably way too many people to try to keep up with that keep going missing like time after time after time. Mm. Oh, you retracted your message, Holly. Maybe she's not going to tell us about that case. I don't know anymore. But no, Steve, they haven't found her yet. I was saying earlier it would be nice if they took the dogs back out and went around to some of those tips, the neighbors, the sex offenders, in and around that area to try to find her. And somebody, I think it was Angelique that mentioned, you guys, that maybe there's bunkers in that area and that maybe she's just being hidden in a bunker underground. I don't know how much the dogs can smell her from how far and all of that. It would probably depend on wind and everything. She was abducted and she had a fantastic job. What was her job, Holly? Tell us more. Yeah. She's probably like, what did I start? That's funny. Can't believe they haven't found that orange Charger yet. I thought it was a red car and a black truck or something, or an XP XDP. What the heck did I do with her card? Oh no, you're right. It says red or orange Challenger and then a black Ford Edge or an Acura MDX. And those were, she was in real estate. Can't believe they haven't found that. Or yeah, like, but I mean, apparently, okay, well, so apparently they have like 80 photos or something like that. I can't remember the exact amount, but they have photos and camera stuff they got to go through from in and around Highway 8, from businesses and houses, like private people that actually have cameras on their property that might point out towards the road that would have caught something. You could have maybe seen like a license plate or something. I don't know. Makes you wonder if it was random or planned. Yeah, yes, it really does, Ray. Like in the beginning, they had thought maybe she was involved, that maybe it was kind of like a boyfriend situation where, she wanted to get away from home or something and they wouldn't allow her to or something. And so like it's happened that exact crime has happened before, where a couple, a boyfriend and a girlfriend, have killed, the parents to be together kind of thing. So, oh, you're out of here, Elena? That was fast. Well, hi and bye. Maybe you were here from the beginning and I just didn't know it though. But this, it says that those vehicles were spotted on surveillance camera. So red or orange Dodge Challenger. Yeah, I don't know. You would think that the $50,000 reward might help somebody. I've heard that name, Liam Nelson, I think it is. Nelson? Like for anybody who might know where she is, right? That $50,000 is pretty, probably looks pretty good, right? But I just nobody's come forward for nothing. There's just no way that the black market's paying everybody, you know. You can't see the house from the road. That's true. Steve, I was showing photos of her area. So if you see that red dot is her home, and I mean, there's just no way, like they're pretty hidden in there that you could, I don't know, sorry for the reflection. See, even the front of their house is covered with trees in the front. So I went on to Google Earth. Hey, Annie, you made it. Yay. Thanks for your support. Was that at store camera? Sadly, some go missing and never found. I know so many go missing and never found. That's what's so sad about this. There's a pretty good close up of their house. And you can see like the trees all in and around that area. So it's really difficult, for anybody to see anything. I'm hoping that some of the other houses or businesses caught something. There's a different angle. Window. Whatever. About as good as I can show you. But, honestly, it makes you wonder if it was planned or not for sure. Because it's just so too weird. And the fact that, it seemed like the dad was trying to say who was doing this, before he was shot, killed. Does make, yeah, exactly. It makes me wonder if she had something to do with it, or if she's, is she guilty, or is she a victim? You know, which is scary, but until we find her, we won't really know, right? So that's why I want to keep looking for her. Wonder that too, Steve, due to a picture Sherry just showed. What did Steve say? No way this can be random. That's what it looks like, but no, it wasn't a robbery because they didn't take anything. They just shot and killed, well, they took her, but I mean, they shot and killed the parents. There was some talk that the father was trying to say or something like that, who this was. And I think that was because of the 911 call, but it was inaudible. Like they haven't released that yet to us either because apparently it was just commotion. So I think that's the 911 office or operator kind of saying, like, they think that he was trying to say something. Who knows, to be honest with you. But I find that it's really weird that there was inaudible anything without any screaming or without any shot sounds or anything in the background, right? Hey, Rich, how are ya? Possibly the family knew the person. Yeah, that's what they're kind of saying, right? So, but who knows? Like, I would strongly suggest going back to the Jenny O's place, to sort of eliminate people there who knew the family. Or is there anybody who's left Jenny O's recently that is no longer there? That person would be of interest too, in my opinion. No, they haven't released the 911 call yet, Steve. I'm trying to stay on top of that because I would really like to hear it, even if it is inaudible. But I mean, they have technology that can sort of, you know, separate these sounds and stuff to see if there's anything, even just a whisper of something. There is something really screwy about this story. But it sure caught media attention. Like her picture has gone like wildly across the world, right? And the fact that she doesn't have any parents looking for her anymore, you guys, like, who's really going to look for her? We have to help, in my opinion. We have to be the ones to step up to show her, keep her out there. And hopefully somebody recognizes her. I mean, I know that her look can be changed, but her facial features won't change that much. True story. We clicked her pic and started the live feed. On me? Is that what you're saying, Abrar? Oh man, she must be living in hell. Honestly, Steve. I don't think there was anything missing from the house, Ray. Hi, Abrar. Thanks for joining. I appreciate it. It's too bad we can't see like who's sort of logged in or whatever, but that would be interesting. It would be nice if YouTube added something like that so we could see. This is participants. Oh, it does show me. Oh, that's cool. Nice. I haven't actually like played too much on the screen because I'm usually focused on the messages and just wanting to see, what you guys have to say too, and answer any questions anybody might have if I can. Do I think she's still alive? I honestly feel like she could still be alive, but she could be being like drugged and kept in a hole, sort of, trying to shape her into whatever it is that they want. Whatever this black market and sex trafficking industry is. That's true, Ray. That gives me hope, because there's so many cases. Well, not so many, but there are the few that those people are found years later. Hey, Nance, how are you, girl? Having coffee. I finished mine and I don't want to get up and make a new one because then I'll leave the camera open. But I do need a second one. I'm kind of tired. I was up late crying, dealing with depression again and blah blah blah. But that's just me. They say a person filmed on camera 150 times a day when you go out of the house. I think that depends on where you live and whether or not CCTV footage is up or not. In the UK and England and stuff like that, absolutely. Like I've watched some of those shows. I think they're really interesting how somebody sits behind that and literally follows somebody of interest from camera to camera to camera until authorities get up to the person and stop them. So, no, that's okay, Nancy. Enjoy your coffee, hon. Do I think there's more than one perpetrator? Yeah, I do actually think there's more than one perpetrator, but I don't think I don't think we're going to know the answer to that for sure or not yet. And if she ever does get found, will she even remember? Or was she knocked out or drugged to be dragged away? Who knows? Like, would be hanged live on TV for everyone to watch. Yeah, I hear you, Abrar. Ray, where I live, camera on street corners, dash cams, home security, etc. Where I live, there are home security cameras outside, but there is none on the streets really. There's some in front of businesses that might catch glimpses of the street, so they might kind of have some, but something happens and they're literally going to the businesses to get footage versus having it right on the street. But I guess if you're having it right on the street, you might deter them altogether. I don't know. Maybe there's methods to that madness on what they're trying to do to catch these people too, right? But I've noticed that with businesses in my area, they'll put it like on the front of their, store outside or pointing down you know, down the road or whatever, down the sidewalk. An eye for an eye. Yeah, I hear you, Abrar. Talking about a 13-year-old girl. Nancy, yeah, we're talking about Jayme Closs. Man, we need to keep that girl out there because she is still missing. 27 days now she's been missing. Did they let that creepy guy go? Stole her underwear? Yes, but you know what? He is due back in court for those charges December 19th. So he has to face the judge yet, and he could potentially do 12 years in jail for this and pay a fine up to $25,000. So, in my opinion, he's kind of up shit's creek. That's how Chris Watts got caught. How do you think Chris Watts got caught, Ray? Nancy, who are you talking about interviewed? She looks like my daughter. She's 15. Yeah. Well, and she used to be somebody's daughter. And even though those people aren't here anymore, I feel like it's sort of our duty to keep her out there and keep her name heard. If you go to stores, Walmart's, Targets, absolutely, Holly, that's true. All of those big stores have camera footage and stuff like that, but you won't necessarily catch a crime that's happening, outside of the store, right? Oh, the sex offenders? Apparently all the sex offenders are cooperating with authorities, but I don't know that they've all been cleared yet. And yes, Ray, there is some home security footage stuff. But are you talking about for Jayme's thing, like over around her? Because even in that area, you guys, it's just so wooded and there's so much forest. Like, how can those cameras really even see or do? Like, they could probably see, as part of the highway or something. Like, we might get a description of a few vehicles that at that point they can look more into. Cleared all 23 of them? Like, holy cow. I kind of feel like that happened too quick. That happened way too quick. Unless these guys all had like alibis that they were somewhere else and that was like 100% concrete. I don't know. That's a red flag. Yeah, the sex trafficking industry in Wisconsin is pretty big. And the meth epidemic that's going on and out down there. I actually, on my video, I mistakenly said 8% of that population in there doing time is doing it for meth when I meant 80. I misunderstood that on the freaking news channel and I couldn't believe that. Like they're ranked third in the state for the meth epidemic happening there. It's the reason why they have, the child abuse and the domestic abuse and the robberies and all the crime. It's attached to this meth drug. Any tire tracks? Now I don't know if they have any of that. But it is super super scary. I do plan to keep her alive though. I feel like, I have to just keep her name out there for people to see her. And feel free to share those stories, you guys. I know that there was a couple of my viewers that shared it on their social media accounts and then some of their friends shared it. Like that's what we want. We want as many people to see her as much as possible so that if they cross her on the street or they see her somewhere, whatever, they might recognize her and be able to save her. But if we just forget that she's missing and we forget about putting her forward, how's anybody going to even remember or know who the hell they're passing on the sidewalk or something or whatever? In a store, who knows? Door was kicked in. Who does that? Which door are you talking about, Steve? The more she's mentioned, the better chance. Yes. Did I use a link on her? The person who shared it shared my YouTube link. So yes, they shared that link onto their social media, and then a couple of their friends shared it on theirs, just to kind of keep it alive because the news stations have kind of dropped this. Like they might still be covering it in that area and stuff like that. It might be on the news all the time out there, but it's not on the news all the time everywhere. And so I feel like she's going to get forgotten if we don't keep this, you know, going for her. Makes you worry for your nieces and nephews. No kidding. Or the children of our children, right? Like what's going to happen for them if this is the way the world is now? That's just crazy to think about. So many isolated areas too. Gonna take a while because she could be in the boonies. And I have said this a few times already, but I really, really think it's a good idea if they check for any bunkers in that area, any underground bunkers. There must be some there. And take the dogs, please. Like take the scent dogs, the cadaver dogs, and get her found. You will share it, Nancy? Oh, that's so great. Near Chicago, Wisconsin border. I think I have about 4 stories of hers right now, just keeping her name out there kind of thing. I started her own playlist. I had originally kind of put it in like brazen crimes, that it was just bold-faced brutal crime. But the more that we can't find her, the more I realize she needs her own little playlist for her name so that people can just look her up very easily and find her, because I don't know if people will find her under brazen crimes, to look for Jayme Closs. So yeah, Steve, I was asking whose door too, because I didn't know who you were talking about. Her front door. I'm just like, whose door though? Maybe he's talking about Jamie's door, but I thought it was a trailer and everything was locked except for the back sliding door. That's how that Kyle Annis Jenke guy or whatever got in. Your great friend lives in Superior, Wisconsin. You will let her know also. That would be great, Nancy. I just feel like if we could share it and keep her out there, we might have a chance. Somebody might see her somewhere, something. I just feel absolutely brutally like, wow, like this industry has just exploded so much worldwide. It's like, who started this? Because it's just brutal. Her front door was kicked in, and dad was shot first. Mom shot in the bathroom. Yes, Steve, that's true. Yeah. I had the arrest affidavit. I think I still have it actually of Kyle Annis and his break in to their house. But I will definitely keep you guys posted. And, I'm glad that we've had a chance to sort of talk where I can say, please share, Jayme's story on as many platforms as you guys can. I figure if we all do it a few times, like she's out there that much more. I don't know. I feel like we should come together, rally together for this. If someone's good with Photoshop, change color or hair could help people recognize your face better, maybe. Okay. You know what? I could try to do that for you, Ray. I'm not too bad with that kind of stuff. I don't ever usually filter my own photos, but it's fun to play with sometimes. So I have. Yeah, that is a good idea, Ray. I will get on doing that and do like a video update to to help maybe show different features that because you see the same picture all the time, right? People are like, okay, yes, I've seen that, but you're right to show it in different ways. That's kind of the reason why I had a black and white photo up of her on a lot of the videos that I put up, because I want people to be able to see her in a different light. But that's a really good idea. I never thought about editing some of those pictures to get some of those other features. So that's a really good idea. I'll do that, and I'll put something together, and hopefully we can share that one too, and stick her out there as much as we can, you guys. I'm happy you're keeping the story alive. Thanks, Steve. I feel like it's a good thing, right? And if it helps just one person, if my channel helps just one person, I feel like I've done a really good thing. Yes, I am passionate about this issue. Like, I cry about my own daughter. Like, I can't even imagine, if she was in this kind of a situation. Like, I would just literally want to die, you guys. Like, that's just brutal. And I feel like she just doesn't have anybody helping her anymore now, with her mom and dad are gone. Like, somebody has to do something. And I feel oh, you still need a friend request on Facebook, Ray? Is it your same name as here, or is it something else? Because I'll look it up, like, literally this morning. And if there's anybody else watching that are wanting me to Facebook friend them, maybe let me know what your name is, because I've got hundreds and hundreds of people's requests, and I don't know who's YouTube and who's just somebody around the world, right? So if you guys wanted to give me your names, I can look you up and friend request you, and then we've got the connection kind of thing. But I feel like if you request me, I may never see it or get to it, because it's so long, and I'm quickly filling up on my friend list amount. I'm hoping Facebook will broaden that one day. It would be great if it wasn't a 5,000 limit, but whatever. I do have another page that I recently started for true crime stories. So you want to be on the Facebook? Okay, Holly, is your name the same? I thought I had friended you before already. Well, how about we just do this now quickly together? Ray, is your name the same on Facebook as it is here? You go by Holly Solomon? Okay, Holly, I'm going to look you up first, because I've got your name first, kind of thing. Until Ray answers me, I'm not sure if it is. Okay. I'll look you up right away then. Solomon. Oh shoot. Holly, is this one you? Because if it is, it's grayed out. I can't add you. I'll send you a message. That one is you, or what? That's you? Okay, well, I'll have to send you a message, and then you must have something in your settings set to. Oh, we have messaged each other, hun. Man, I'm telling you guys, sometimes. Whew, but you'll have to set your settings somebody brand new who, it's not connected through your friends, it's somebody that you don't know can friend you. So I think you have to change it to everyone. Just to let me friend you, you can switch it back afterwards, And then Ray, I'll look you up right now. And then I am on Instagram too. I'm on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, OKVK, Tumblr, Mix, LinkedIn. Oh my gosh. Like if you guys go to the YouTube page, there's a drop down in my about section that literally has all the links to me, if that helps. But like I said, if I don't know that you want me to friend you kind of thing, and it might just sit in the request list forever where there's so many, I can't even get through them all. Like, hi, Chef Betsy, you made it. I've been wondering where you've been for a while. I even mentioned you last live video. I was like, oh, she's probably chefing it up, doing something awesome, making something awesome, doing something amazing for somebody. Filling somebody's belly with something amazing, yummy. But Ray, I'm going to look you up now. Holly, I sent you a message. You'll have to set your settings, hon. And Ray, hold. Search. Ray. Okay, so are you the top one, Ray? Nancy, you're on Instagram. I know I'm everywhere because I share all these videos on all the platforms. So I'm kind of everywhere. There are so many true stories on Facebook. You have a dog on your profile. Oh, okay. The black dog. I see it. Ah, you too, girl. You must have your settings set so that I can't friend you because we don't actually know each other, through friends or whatever, right? So you have to set your settings then to where everyone can friend request you just until I get you, and then you can switch it back. But I can't friend you. See, it's grayed out. It won't let me actually touch on it. Yeah, so same thing for both of you guys. And Nancy, did you want me to look you up on Facebook too, or no? Or do you just want Steve? I think I might have you. I'm not sure though. Let me just double check. Is it Steve? In your name is the last name is the same? Tingley, I think. Tingley. Oh, maybe I don't have you. Are you the first one or the second one or third one for Steve? You're good, Sherry or Nancy? I'm reading your message to myself. Oh my gosh, seriously. Blonde moment. Have a stalker. I have a stalker where it's set that way. No, I totally understand. I actually have my settings set too, that it's not just everybody that can friend me. Annie C, sure, I can look you up too. What's your last name? Or do you have it as Annie C on Facebook? You're good on here for now. That's totally okay, Nancy. Totally understandable. So Ross Productions, some guy sitting on here, some girl, who knows, decided to put a comment on here. Suck a hot dog. I'm just going to laugh at that because I don't even care. You're a dude. All right. Well, whatever. Okay, but I do. Okay, Steve. Which one did you say you were? Tingley. It's funny. I know, right? Some people. Yeah, it doesn't say where you are, Steve. So if you just tell me if you're the first, second, or third one. Annie, I totally agree with you. Steve, I just need to know which one you are, and then I'll friend you. We need to laugh right now. No kidding. I think he might have even logged off because somebody just left. So he's probably like, oh, that didn't bother you? Well, I'm leaving. I don't care, really. Spelling is, oh, I'm sorry, Steve. Sorry. Phen. This first one, is it like the snow or whatever? My cover picture is my face. It's really pretty. You can pretty see me pretty easily. So is so Steve. Suck my hot dodge. You can't even spell properly, dude. That's another guy. Like, no. Thanks, but no thanks. I'll just say that right off the hop. Yes, that's you, Steve. Okay, Steve, I sent yours. Annie, I just need to know what your last name is, hon, and then I can look you up. And I think I got everybody. Somebody copycatted you, Ross. You got that right. Dudes can't spell sometimes. Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. Anita Clark. Okay, I'm looking you up right now, honey. Anita Clark. Search. All right, are you the dietitianary on the top? Pretty lady? Thanks for shouting me out. Well, you know. Thanks for not being too rude or crude. I appreciate that too. Anita, I just need to know which one's you, hun. 1, 2, or 3. There's a few there. Maybe you didn't even see that. No, I've got Sam pick on here as Facebook. Oh, weird. Okay, let me just go look at all of them. Ooh, is it this one in the middle there? I can't really see it. I don't know. You're subscribing to me because I'm funny? Aw, thanks, Ross Productions. That's cool. Sherry, now you must have a million Facebook friends. Well, I think it's like 4,400 or 4,500 or something like that. No, that's not the right one, Annie. Of course it's not. Shoot. I'm still looking through them then. As I do see your photo on here, looks like you have like the one of those flower head things. Who cares what color you are, Savage Gang? That's all good. Be proud. I can add you to your page. Okay. General manager on me, Sherry. That's okay, Ray. I appreciate the help sometimes because I don't always get all the information right. So no, there's absolutely no racism here at all. And there's no judgment. Oh, it's Clarky? Okay. No judgment. And, it's an open platform. So really, you guys can say anything you want about anything. And I honestly won't judge you. As long as you're not being rude to me or you're like being rude to someone else. Like, I mean, it depends on the situation because recently somebody logged in and said a comment towards another viewer that had been on another channel. Both of these people had been on another channel and they had an argument. And then this person came over to my channel and said something. And that person came over and said, like, I've seen you on this other channel and you should just be nice and be quiet. And I did let that one go. So it kind of depends on what's being said. I just don't like direct, like belittling, name calling, trashing, because there's just no real reason for it, in my opinion. Okay. Anita, I'm having the hardest time finding you, honey. Oh, I think I got you. I got it. Oh, no. You too? You guys got to go in and change your settings because none of us know each other, right? So, I mean, obviously the setting's going to think, well, you don't actually know Sherry Weens, right? We're from 2 different places in the world. I mean, so you guys go change your settings so that I can friend you. That's funny. We spent all that time doing that only to find out all 3 of you need to switch your settings. That's so funny. Well, now you're orange. Savage. You're funny. Yeah, I guess, yeah, some of y'all have to go look at your settings. But I will try to find you guys today again. Change from private to public and then change back. That's what it is, Nance. I didn't know exactly which thing it was, so thank you for that. You want me to show you my profile? Sure, I can do that. I actually, okay, so I do have two. The one that I'm sitting in the car with sunglasses on and I'm just looking up. I just don't use that one very much, you guys. But this is the one that the top one is the one that I use mainly all the time. That third one there is my other one that I just don't really use very often. The middle one is not me. I don't obviously, I don't know who that is. And I don't have any other profiles. So if you guys see, you can't add me on, you can't add me on your page. That's so weird. So anybody YouTube or Facebook? Is anybody a Facebook pro here? Who knows if maybe I have a setting that's done that I've screwed up or something here? Like why can't people add me? Is I'm just so Instagram is easier. Yeah, well I'll just go over there now. You might have given me the wrong Facebook. Your profile has a moon, not snow. Oh, okay, Steve. Let me try that again. Excuse me. It's kind of, excuse me, it's kind of interesting when you find people around the world who have your same name, like literally the same name. You have a moon. Oh, it is a moon. I got the right one, Stephen. I sent it to you. I sorry, I thought it was snow. I didn't really look at it close enough, so that was my bad. What did Annie say? I've changed my settings. Okay, we'll go over to Annie quick. So she can change it back. Clarky. Where'd you go now? It's A-N. Oh, that's probably why I can't find you. I'm not spelling properly. Sherry. That's two E's. Oh, I'm telling you, Facebook sometimes. I had you, Annie, and now you're gone. And I'm like, what? Me and technology don't get along on the best of days, though. Are you sure that you got your setting properly, hon? So weird. You could not find me. Well, this is so weird. Not just friends of friends, though. Anywhere, any school, yes. Oh, I'm so confused because I can't find you, Annie. Yeah, that's what well, that's what I put it as, and then it really didn't find you. And put it as the Clarky, or should I put Clark and Clarky? Isn't it funny how much connecting we do on technology? Yeah, that's so true. Ray, I don't know why people can't find me. That's so messed up. So Annie Clark or Clarky? I should say public. Hmm. Kniee. I got the spelling right this time. But it's still not finding her. I hate that. You changed your settings too, Holly? Let me try you. No, I still can't friend you either. Oh, I did. It worked. Never mind. I lied. It made a liar out of me. Does it all the time, for crying out loud. Set mine to public so Sherry can friend request me. Okay, Ray, we'll try to find you now. I don't know why I can't find you, Annie. And Ray, you said you're the dog, the black dog, so I got you. I just sent that one. And Holly, I got you. Yeah, but I can't find Annie, you guys. It's like I had her. She was right there at the top. Maybe if I backtrack, I'll find her. No, I'm just Steve. Sorry, guys, it's kind of boring, but I just wanted to get everybody that I could get before we kind of log off. You have a poppy frame around your face? Yes, I saw the Annie Clark. Yeah, but I saw that Clarky too that was in parentheses. I'm gonna try that. That's the only thing that's coming up now. I'm like, what the heck? You've definitely changed your setting. Anita, that's what. It was the Anita because I kept putting in Annie. Maybe that's what it is. Ah, I think I got you, girl. Yep. Yes, we did it. Seriously. Stupid technology. But Christine, you want me to do that too? Sure. Christine. La 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 la. Christine. Johnson Jones. Christine, are you arm in arm with an army guy? Technology and coffee this morning? Yeah, not enough coffee. I'm actually tired. And because I was crying too all last night, I'm just like, that just drains me. Um, yeah, Christine, I'm just waiting to hear if this is you. Nance, all right, have a great day. I'm about to sign off a little bit earlier this time, about an hour and a half today. Yeah, I hope tonight will be a better night too. Yes, thanks, Ray. I hope you have a great day as well. Hey, Critters Heartland. Marine daughter. Okay, cool. Sorry. I assumed that was a guy. My bad. Sorry. I just sent your request too, so we can at least all be connected on the same place. Hey, Critters Heartland. So glad you made it. Thank you, Nancy. I appreciate that. Life's just hard sometimes, gets me down. So I think we did all the technology that we need to do for a day. And yeah, like let's work together to share Jayme Closs's story as much as we can, and if we can encourage our friends and friends to share it too. Annie, you're headed out. Okay, we'll see you later. Bye, Nance. Oh, I'm sorry, Annie. You're saying bye to Nancy. Um, but let's share her story as much as we can. Let's get it out there. Just to help keep her name on the forefront. Help keep her in topic and people looking for her. And then we've got the Turpin case on the 30th of November due in court. And then Monday, the 19th, is Chris Watts's hearing for sentencing. So let's hope that we've got a little bit more information from that too. It would be nice to hear some autopsy reports results, maybe what the evidence was. Hopefully there's no more surprises. We'll see, because this is his last opportunity for there to be any more surprises is at the sentencing hearing. So we'll see how that goes on Monday. And then it's going to be Kyle Annis for mid-December. So those are the important court dates that are sort of coming up for a few cases that we're following. And then I'm sure there'll be more that's added as we keep going and keep talking. And there's always new cases and crimes. And there's some cold ones that I like, that I followed. And let's rally together and just work together. I think it's the best thing that we can do, each of us from our own space and place, and I think it would help. Every little bit would help. So stay tuned for all of those things coming up. And of course, new crime stories that are all true. And I really thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate your support. Seriously, like the thumbs up are great. It's encouraging, and it just makes me feel loved online. So I really appreciate that, you guys. And I hope everybody has a wonderful day. So, get out there, maybe get some fresh air if it's not too cold where you are, and try to smile more than you did yesterday and stay positive. But we'll see you guys again on Tuesday for our next live on YouTube. And I'll see you guys on Facebook. So I hope you guys have a great day, and we'll talk to you later, okay? Bye for now.